I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers. It's just not boxing. And I don't think we should promote it as boxing.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is preparing for a highly unusual boxing match against YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul. The fight isn't traditional by any means. Davis is much smaller, while Paul has a massive weight advantage. Many in the boxing community believe this fight is more entertainment than sport, especially since it's considered an exhibition and not a sanctioned bout. Despite criticism, the event has captured massive attention due to the dramatic contrast in size and approach between the fighters.
Stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
The clips reveal Tank testing his power against towering opponents, proving he's not intimidated by the size difference. His team reportedly arranged these intense sessions to toughen him up and silence critics who doubt his ability to handle bigger fighters.
Wake up. Do it to him. Put it on his ass.
Gervonta
Even though
Davis
the fight
has been taking on
labeled a
much larger
freak show
opponents
by
during
some,
his training sessions,
Gervonta Davis
sparring
is
with
taking it
heavyweights and power
seriously.
punchers
He's
to
training
sharpen his
against much
strength and
larger
timing.
sparring
These
partners
intense
to adjust to the
sessions show
size
how
difference
confident he is,
and prove he can
refusing to
handle
stay
anyone,
within his own
regardless
weight
of
class,
weight.
as he
His
tests
camp
himself
has
against
reported
fighters
that
who
Tank is
outweigh him
focused,
significantly.
disciplined, and determined to show that skill and strategy can sometimes defeat size and brute power in the ring.
When the bell rings.
Guys, what's the key to having a fight that's exciting? Is when you look at one corner, you're like, that guy can't be beat. And you look at the other corner, you're like, that guy can't be beat. And they're about to fight. It just feels like Jake Paul is always picking fights where he has a massive advantage. Like now he's fighting Gervonta Davis, who's, I don't know how much smaller, but probably close to like 80 pounds smaller, which is a crazy, significant weight advantage for Jake Paul. Now, you have to also look at the other way. Gervonta has a crazy advantage over Jake Paul. He has incredible amount of skill, more years of training. For sure, pound for pound, he would mop the floor with Jake Paul. But this is what makes the fight exciting. And two guys fighting, and we don't know who's going to win. Guys, what's the key to having a fight that's exciting? Is when you look at one corner, you're like, that guy can't be beat. And you look at the other corner, you're like, that guy can't be beat. And they're about to fight. Somebody's about to say go, and these guys got to go at it. So that's what makes a fight exciting. And so this is kind of that. Because if they were the same weight, none of us would tune in. We'd be like, this is just a punching bag for Gervonta. It doesn't make the fight exciting. But because Jake Paul is so big, so much bigger, it makes the fight exciting.
Promoter
said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. You know, with, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but, you know, I understand the market and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. However you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers. It's just not boxing. And I don't think we should promote it as boxing.
In the meantime, then, Eddie, where does that leave you with Anthony Joshua? Are you exploring other options for the end of this year, or are you still looking at that fight for the beginning?
Yeah, no, we're not interested in the Jake Paul fight right now. After that, I mean, like, you know, we're not going to wait around till November. Is it November or December, whenever it is, and yeah, and see how he gets on. I mean, if he gets
Jake Paul is known for carefully picking his opponents to gain maximum attention and advantage. His fights always spark controversy because he blends showmanship with just enough legitimacy to stay in the conversation. He's a master at using fame, money, and social media hype to turn every matchup into a global event. This fight with Davis fits perfectly into his strategy of staying relevant and unpredictable.
I think he's fighting opponents that, you know, are not with it anymore or are too small for him and whatnot. But in this situation, it is an exhibition. So you've got to keep in mind that this could be set up. This could be like WWE. This one could be set up. I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but this is not a sanctioned fight, champ. This is an exhibition. And an exhibition means you cannot bet on it. You cannot bet on the result. If you remember, this is why they changed the Mike Tyson fight from an exhibition to a real fight, because they realized, you know, an exhibition, you could stage it and they couldn't take bets on it. So this is an exhibition. There is no betting on it. So that means, I'm not saying people are going crazy with the opinions, who's going to win, who's going to lose. You don't know what size gloves they're going to wear. You don't even know if they're going to stage the whole thing, because this is something that as an exhibition, it's not illegal to stage it. So I think this could be all kinds of crazy, wacky stuff. This is a bit of a circus, in my opinion.
Who would you think should win that fight? Would you think that Davis should be able to get in there, even though the size did 100 pounds? Do you think he should be able to do it?
If they don't stage it and don't kind of set up a sort of a mild sparring session, I'd say Davis has a chance. Depends on the size of the gloves. Because here's the thing: Jake is probably 100 pounds bigger than the guy. You know, that's a lot of weight, Carl. You know, you've been in a boxing ring, that still counts. And if you make the gloves small, Gervonta could technically hurt Jake even if he hits him. But the problem is the gloves are small. Jake could also hurt Gervonta because Gervonta's so small. Gervonta's so much smaller than him. You know, so do you make the gloves big and then really who's got an advantage? I don't know. You know, technically Gervonta's a lot better boxer, but he's so much smaller. I've stood next to Jake. Jake's a big guy.
The fight has caused a major split among fans and experts. Traditionalists argue this is not real boxing and risks damaging the sport's legacy. Others think it's a smart way to get young fans engaged in boxing again. Promoters like Eddie Hearn and former pros like Paulie Malignaggi have voiced concerns about the credibility of such events, calling it more spectacle than sport. Yet, they admit, like it or not, it brings in huge numbers. This matchup has become a symbol for a much deeper debate in boxing. Is the sport evolving or losing its soul? If Gervonta wins, it could remind the world of the power of technique and experience. If Jake Paul pulls off an upset or simply impresses the casual audience, the sport might shift further toward personality-driven, entertainment-style fights, where attention matters more than rankings or belts.
Number 3, the retirement.
I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face. Yeah, they're gonna have a field day. The backlash I get, I understand. Would you say number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur, that he ain't gonna do him no favors, that he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean, that's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? If he not going to fight Shakur, and if he's standing on it like, I'm not ever going to fight you, I'm not doing you no favors. And, all right. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they've been through personally. You know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that fight. And then number 3, you said what? You said
the retirement.
The retirement? Oh. Boxing. Boxing, they're around. They're around. It's always gloves around. It's on you. It's on you. I'm chilling. You all right? Yeah, get with me. I know. How you feel? Dark skin boy. That's my man. The retirement is like he done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. the shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate, all right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing. You're talking about marketing. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You're like, how do I...
This isn't just a fight. It's a crossroads for boxing's future. Davis fights to uphold the sport's history and technical foundation. Paul fights to redefine what boxing can be in the internet age. Millions will watch, not just for the punches thrown, but for what the outcome represents. Will boxing stay a respected craft or evolve into a social media circus? The answer may begin in that ring.
The purists hate it, the algorithm loves it, and both will watch. It's not just who wins, it's what wins. Will the entertainment value or the ring IQ come out on top? Because if Tank dominates, the meme dies. Jake Paul survives or hits it big, we see new rules are going to be written in real time. Me, you, maybe everyone at some point has been that bigger guy thinking that I'll just bully him. Jab, slip, liver shot, sent me down real nicely. Size helped until it didn't. All I'm saying is let's not dismiss something because it looks weird. Many fights get decided by the details. Feet before fists, timing before muscle, discipline before clout. Look, Tank wins if he stays Tank. He's built on patience, traps, explosive counters. That's hell for a tall guy who gets eager. Jake's long jab is the gate, but Tank's head movement is the key. Once he times it, the door's getting open and the furniture is going to get rearranged. Think locksmith versus padlock. Big padlock looks scary until the right tool clicks once. Jake throws that overhand like he's bowling with the shoulder. Effectively,
this with fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight? And those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser. Because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of